Okay, this is part 2. Spacing throughout your HTML documents is important, because in Arachnophilia, if I were just to start keying text here, it would display in my browser. However, it doesn't care if I type in "I am a cool person, I like to eat pickles, onions are good on bratwurst." Now notice when I preview it, everything's in one long line, because HTML ignores any type of spacing. You've got to tell it when to space. So I'm going to delete that, and I'm going to this is what this is talking about. The P tag stands for paragraph. So this is a paragraph, this is a paragraph. Click on Control, copy, and we're just going to add this below our heading tags here in the same document, the same practice file. Now I've opened it up with a P tag, close it with the P tag, same thing. And for a single space, you put a break tag. So when I visit here, you'll see this is a paragraph, it double space. This is another paragraph, it double space. But when you put a break tag, you will notice that it only single spaces. Also notice the difference. Break tags do not have a opening and closing tag. They're considered non-empty. So you still have to use an XHTML. You still have to close it right here with a slash. So you do BR space slash to close it. You save your changes and just read along with the rest of this. Ordered list, unordered list. Copy that. We're going to add this. Make sure everything should be between the two body tags. UL stands for unordered list, which is like a bulleted list. LI stands for list item. So you're saying I want an unordered list or a bulleted list, and here are my list items: coffee, tea, milk, unordered list. It's very important that you close the unordered list. If not, everything below it will be part of that list. So if you preview it, you'll see you have default bullets. Then you can change what type of bullets you have, but we'll learn that later. The next thing you want to learn is order list. And if you guess what, if that's unordered list, an order list is going to be a numbered list, because ordered means it has to be in a particular order. So here's a list item, close list item, close list item, and close the ordered list. When I preview that, coffee, tea, and milk have numbers beside them at that point. So here's the terms you need to know. And again, you need to answer the questions for each time you come up to it in order to receive credit for this lesson. Also, I leave these lessons open all the time because you can always come back and refer to them to figure out what you need to do. Alright, let's go to horizontal rules. Horizontal rule is just a line that goes across the page. So if you copy and paste this, you're going to see a horizontal rule, HR space slash. That gives you a line right here. And you can change the width of your line. Width equals, you can do it in pixels or percentage. We do 50%. This is an attribute. We'll learn a little bit more like that later. Thought I'll show it to you now. Width would be 50%. You'll notice that it's only half the page. So that's a horizontal rule. You can change the size. A lot of formatting things we'll learn later. Bold and italics. You'll notice when you copy and paste this into your Arachnophilia. Now if you're copying and pasting, you're not going to remember it as well. But I'm fine with you doing that, because eventually you'll be doing this so much you won't have a choice but to remember it. So bold and italics. So scroll down. This is bold. This is italic. Save your work. Good job. Also, one thing I need to point out is in your code, and you can switch back and forth between your browser and code up here, but you always need to click on preview when you've added something. In the title, Freeman's tutorial, you don't see that anywhere in your preview. But if you look at the top of your window, that's where you'll see that. Always remember to put a title. don't leave the little thing that says push your title here. That will always result in points being taken off. Alright, part 3, inserting images. This is very tricky, and this is where having a folder created becomes very important. So, this is a picture of my son a couple years ago when he was fishing right here. What we're going to do is we're going to create that. We're going to save this image. We're going to right click on it, save link as, and I'm going to go to my folder on my desktop called week 10 XHTML practice, and I'm going to save this as pic1.jpg. Now notice I put all lowercase. I don't have any spaces or dashes. It's a very short name. You need to limit your file net sizes to 8 letters, all lowercase, and very simple and easy to understand. Alright, now we're going to key this code in into Arachnophilia, right below what we did previously, and the picture should be at the bottom. If the picture's not at the bottom, things to check would be making sure you saved your HTML file in your practice folder, and that you saved your picture in the picture folder. Other things to check is sometimes people put image SCR instead of SRC. This means search, image search, so try that. Also notice there is no closing tag, so we put a closing switch right here. Alright, it worked. Again, just because you're hearing this lesson, make sure you read all of this still. It's going to be helpful. Alright, creating links. We're going to create a you have a equals anchor href horizontal reference. We're going to create a link to ECU's website. So I press enter a couple times. A paragraph tag a href anchor horizontal reference equals, and you type in the quotation marks http://www.ecupirates.com/GoPirates. When I click here and I scroll down, I'll see Go Pirates, and right there I'll actually see in the status bar that it's going to take me to the ECU Pirates website. A couple things to keep in mind with this. One is I've always got to have something to click on. A lot of people like to put the logo, the text, the code for it, but then don't put anything there to click on. So the link will not work. So you always got to put something to click on. Also notice that I did not close href. I got a href. I need to close just the anchor tag. That's the case for any tag. You always just close the tag, not its attributes. This is called a absolute reference. We'll talk more about that later also. If you want to make the image the logo, the link, it's very easy to do also. I say ready to go fishing, single space, click on the image below to visit Cabela's websites, and all I've done is I'm doing ahref equals name of a website, and then instead of text I put the code for an image. It's the same thing as Go Pirates, except for instead of Go Pirates I have an image. When I click here and I scroll down, I click there on the image, you'll notice that the mouse has a hand symbol, and that says Go Pirates. So it takes you to Cabela's website. Alright, let's go on to centering. In order to center text, this is the very center. This is the old HTML. This is how you center text and images and tables. But this is actually out of style now, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. This text is centered. See there? But now with XHTML we use the style attribute. Style attribute will address many issues. Style can do font color, size, center, alignment. So we're going to click on C. I'm going to copy this, and go to Arachnophilia, paste it, and you'll see it also centers that text. And this is actually the code I prefer you use. You can use it if you want to, but a lot of your test questions will be asking about style. And style works for horizontal rules, it works for heading tags, it works for most tags. See here, H2 style equals text align, colon center, the heading is centered, that works. Some interesting facts about HTML. I'll let you read that on your own time, and again use lowercase, and then I want you to print the code. So you need to make sure your name's in the title code, because if not, then when you print it out, I'm not going to see your name. I want you to print out the code and hand it to me. Also, you make sure you get all these questions right, and your grade will go into there. But when you get finished, this is what you're printing out, it's the code. So if you don't have your name in the title, I'm not going to know whose it is. So you go to File, Print, and then you print, and you hand that to me. But also do the lesson. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. If you can't get through this lesson without understanding it, do not go on to the next lesson.